Hello everyone, welcome back. Chrissy wanted a fashion themed house essentially for her happy home prompt. I can never remember the name of the actual request. I didn't know where to put it. I struggled with the outside of this. You guys will see as we go into the video. I struggle a lot with the exteriors of these builds just because I can't seem to draw a lot of inspiration on like how I want to make it. I also struggled with the inside and I didn't realize it at the time. I realized it after the fact, like before I started recording this voiceover. I had already done Francine's vacation home, completely forgot about her, and I could have made it a lot easier for me and just moved Chrissy in with her, made them roommates, and then renovated Francine's house. I haven't been to Francine's house, so I don't know what exactly I did for her. It was a very long time ago. It was not on this channel, so there's that. I don't really like how this came out. I'm just not a huge fan of it. And it's kind of a shame because like I said, I really didn't know how to go about building this. I wanted to like make a big closet space almost, but I feel like the final product just looks bland. I'm not super thrilled with it. I do like the color scheme. I think it fits her, the pink and white and everything, because it's Chrissy and she's pink and white. But overall, I think that maybe I would have been better off moving her in with Francine and renovating Francine's vacation home to better suit the two of them. And I feel like their prompts kind of go together fairly well. Francine's is to be like a designer. Chrissy's is to be like a model or something. So we have that kind of cohesiveness going on with the two of them, which again makes sense because they are sisters. Beyond that though, not a whole lot is going on here. I think maybe the next vacation home build I do is going to be for an NPC. The NPC vacation home builds in this game are coded as like VIP requests and you can't make them roommates with each other, although some of them come with roommates by default. Like for example, the Able sisters are all together. If you build a vacation home for anybody in Cappen's family, they'll bring like the whole rest of the family with them. I think it's the same for Rossetti and his brother and Flick and CJ. And obviously Timmy and Tommy are together because they're brothers and they're together in every single thing. I've already done a few NPC builds. I did Isabel. I believe I did Tom Nook and I know I did Brewster. I don't think I did anybody else. So maybe that's something else that we can focus on in the future, is doing more of the NPC vacation builds, because I think that they're a lot of fun. I did do all of the Sanrio villagers. I made all of their houses very much like the same, and I used a lot of the furniture like from their individual sets. So it very much reminds me at least of like their houses that they have when they move into your island, but elevated because of Happy Home Paradise. I think that I made the plots overall bigger, like the interiors and stuff. Again, this was a long time ago. This was like prior to me doing YouTube, which, fun fact, my YouTube channel, it's about like a year at this point when I'm recording this since I posted my first video of touring that current iteration of my island before flattening it. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. It is one of the only videos where I do have a face cam. I also was not fantastic with editing because of that. I don't know if that makes any sense. I've definitely improved in my video editing and I've been editing for a long time. This was also at the point where I was still using iMovie. I hadn't quite updated to Final Cut Pro. I pulled the trigger on it shortly after that when I realized that iMovie really wasn't giving me the tools that I wanted to be able to take advantage of because it's more basic. So I got like the trial version of Final Cut Pro and I have been using it ever since. It's, in my opinion, a really great program. I like it because all of the key commands are the same as iMovie, so I'm used to using it. I know a lot of other people use like DaVinci Resolve and CapCut and other programs that are not like expensive, more so like free programs, and iMovie is fine, but for the video stuff that I do, at least where I'm editing multiple tracks and things like that, I really needed something that could handle stuff like that better, in addition to having more freedom when it comes to effects and like words on the screen and stuff like that. So I've been doing a lot of it self-taught and I watch a lot of Dylan Bates's videos on YouTube. He's really great with Final Cut Pro and with Motion. I haven't delved into Apple Motion at all. I also have like a license key for that I haven't quite redeemed yet, but I maybe will do something with that in the future and play around with it. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty happy though at this point with my video editing overall. And I think that again in the future with the Happy Home Paradise stuff, we got to step it up here. I really want to get to the greatest of all time designer, which is like the final achievement essentially in Happy Home Paradise in terms of like the promotions that you can have. And I've been playing this since the 2.0 update came out in 2021 and we are still not there. And I am pretty sure that's because I am missing some requirements, meaning I need to, I think, do more VIP builds and I think I need to go more consistently. I know that there's like a calculator and stuff and you can figure out what your score is and everything through that. I don't really remember any of the information that I have to put into it though to be able to give me an accurate piece of information from it. Like I can't tell you what my actual rank is because I don't know. All I know is that I'm getting 30,000 Poke for my work every single time. I'm hoping to eventually get 40,000 Poke, even though I haven't really done anything with my Poke. I have all the items in the game. My island is done. Maybe I'm going to convert a lot of it to bells. I don't know. I could also just buy items from Happy Home Paradise with the Poke and send it to my second island, like my second Switch, and use some of that on Kringle. Or I could actually open up the Happy Home Paradise on Kringle and go there and do all that. I had said I wasn't going to show any of that on this channel, mainly in like all of the Kringle videos, but would you guys be interested in seeing like earlier Happy Home Paradise stuff? I could do separate videos on that because it's a new year and we're about a year from my first video on this channel, like it's the anniversary essentially. I want to kind of like switch things up a little bit here. My plan is to still post content Monday, Wednesday, Friday and be consistent with that, but in terms of like the actual content that I'm posting, I think I want to maybe deviate a little bit. I know that for the most part, I think since like the dawn of time, Wednesdays have been either like a home makeover on my island or a Happy Home Paradise build. And I want to keep doing that. But do you guys like that? I'm also running out of cute villagers on my Happy Home Paradise beaches because I've done like a lot of vacation homes. I don't have the number in front of me, but it's probably somewhere in the hundreds. Editing me here, I just checked my planner for ACNH app on my phone where I've been keeping track of all this, and I've done approximately 143 vacation homes. And there's like 400 something villagers, not including the NPCs. And I do have quite a lot of amiibo, so like I said, like we're gonna work on the NPC builds and get more of that done. I think that that'll be fun, but I want to hear from you guys about like content. Is there anything that you guys are dying to see? I know that the Switch 2 was just announced. I don't really have anything to say about that other than it looks really nice, and I think it's interesting that the Joy-Cons are essentially going to be able to be usable as like mice because you saw them gliding across the surfaces and things like that. I do like how they snap in instead of having to deal with the rails and stuff. I know a lot of people don't like that and they think that it's gonna be flimsy and the thing is gonna like disconnect or whatever. I think that Nintendo may have thought of that though, and I think that we're gonna be fine. I am looking forward to getting my hands on a console and also to see like how big it's going to be. Like holding it, they can give out specs and they can give out the dimensions and whatever, but I am not good at visualizing how big something is just by reading the product dimensions. I think that's because I'm visually impaired. Like I have no depth perception and I'm just generally not great at like visualizing the size of things in comparison to like anything, if that makes sense. Like I need to physically hold it in my hand. I also think that it's really cool that we essentially got confirmation of Mario Kart 9. I think that it looks really nice graphically, and I think it's really neat that you could have like up to 24 racers on the screen. At least like that's what it showed. So I'm hoping that due to that, the internet capabilities will be better, but I think that that means that Nintendo would have to do something major to their online servers in order to make it more like 21st century, especially when it comes to Animal Crossing. I hate the online features in this game sometimes. It's very slow. Okay, hate is a strong word, but I do dislike how long it takes to do anything in this game regarding online. You have to wait to fly in. If you're waiting for somebody to come visit you, you have to deal with the whole arrival screen, which is cute and fun for the first like 1 or 2 times, but then it gets really really old. I wish that there was a toggle for that, or at least a way to speed it up a little bit. And then the more people that you have playing with you online, the laggier it gets, because if somebody, God forbid, has a terrible internet connection, you're all screwed, and there's the chance of erroring out and having a communications issue. That's why there are so many issues sometimes with like public treasure islands, how they just have to fetch a new dodo code because somebody comes in and they don't realize that they have a bad connection. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's a mixture of being a peer-to-peer service, but also Nintendo's servers themselves not being able to handle the capability of whatever they're trying to do, which is a shame because Nintendo has a hell of a lot of money and we're in 2025. But who am I to say anything? I don't know how online servers work. I just feel like overall the communication was better in New Leaf, maybe? Maybe that's because I was gonna say I did more online play in New Leaf, but that's not correct. I did, I think, an equal amount of online play in New Leaf and in New Horizons, and I only played New Leaf for a couple of years because I started playing it in like 2018, and then New Horizons came out in 2020. I hope, though, that the new Animal Crossing game is not too far around the corner, although because the team is split between that and Splatoon, and I think I saw somewhere or heard a rumor that they're already working on the next Splatoon game. Maybe that was confirmed. I don't know. I don't keep up with gaming news, but it's a shame because the team is split in two, and evidently they're not going to be working on two games at the same time. Or maybe they are and we just don't know anything. Anyway, we're done here. We're touring. Again, not a whole lot to look at. At the last minute, I made the kitchen wall, like the front part of the room, I guess, where the door is, an accent wall with the wood paneling, and I really love that. I really like how this turned out in particular. And I got 30,000 Poki for my work as per usual. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!